Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today. You guys, I am back today because it is the best day of the week. Once again, it's RWBY Day! Guys, finally I'm going to check out the Volume 9 soundtrack. I am so excited for it. I already know that I'm in for a big treat just from having heard the songs in the background of Volume 9. But there's a lot to love here, and I will just kind of briefly get into why I'm excited, what's going on, and also probably a few thoughts on Volume 9 now that I've had some time to really digest it. So before I do all that, I do just want to say if you're joining me early today, you know just what that means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so very much. And as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still, thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in that description down below. And if you're joining me on those YouTubes, I really hope you'll hit like and subscribe for me. It helps me out a lot. It helps my channel. So thank you so much in advance for that. All right, you guys. We are checking out the Volume 9 soundtrack, which one of the things I want to address is that I know this is the first, like, without Jeff. This is the first one where we don't have Jeff on the album. We do have Casey coming in, which I think is absolutely fantastic, and I love that she's taking up the mantle here. And I know that I believe this person also worked on some of the previous music as well, Martin Gonzalez. So it's going to be the two of them doing the music for this volume. And like I said already, just from what I heard throughout the show, I think it's going to be good. The theme, for example, which I'm sure is going to be the first one that we're going to check out. It feels like RWBY, but you can tell like this is a different style, and I'm just really excited to like check that out more, analyze all of it, and just I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And of course we have lyric videos for today, so I would like to extend a big old thank you to Tyler, who really worked hard on this playlist and put it together with notes, with lyric videos, and just took a ton of time on it. So thank you, Tyler. Tyler's also the one who puts together my Red versus Blue playlist, so yay, round of applause. So I have a nice, cushy, cozy playlist with notes. So I'm going to be doing what I'm always doing, which is checking out the videos and then checking out the notes afterwards that Tyler put together for me, so that I can kind of like confirm anything that I found thematically in the songs, and also just kind of get like a little I guess like feedback. So a little bit of like insight review right there on the spot. So yeah, guys, Volume 9. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not rewatch this one. I meant to, but this was a really, really emotional volume. And I know we've had some emotional ones in the past, you guys, but I did just go through and like do recaps and everything. But this one dealt with some tough stuff. They really went there in a lot of ways on this volume. And I commend them for, you know, exploring some topics that are not easy. They're not easy, and I know I'm not the only one who really was like very impacted emotionally by them. I'm a big fan of the concept of art helping you realize and recognize something about life, something about yourself, something that you can address, something that you need to heal from. It's one of the reasons why I love this show so much. No, I'm not going to tear up. I can't tear up right now. I literally, this is bad. I did not bring tissues. This is going to be real, you guys. I don't know, what was I thinking? Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was a really, it was a really emotional one. And honestly, I think we needed it. I know we needed it. I know we needed to like address, like there was no way we were just gonna be able to have RWBY like happily marching on into like the climax of the story. I mean, it would not be realistic. You had to stop and like almost do a reset and get her and like John, and we dealt with a lot of other stuff as volume 2, but we had to like get our heads at least somewhat right. You know what I mean? At least somewhat straight. I think you see what I'm getting at. So yeah, guys, in a way, I'm going to kind of like be hearing a lot of this fresh again because I didn't go back and like watch every single episode. So in a way that's good because it's not going to be like because we can't do a first time listen when it's been playing in the background of everything, but this will be a nice in-depth dive into it. And, I'm really excited for, Volume 10, as of right now, there's still a campaign to greenlight it. So, greenlight Volume 10, please. I need it. But I'm still really, really, really interested and curious to see how everything that we did in Volume 9 is going to play out in Volume 10 as well. Not only with the really in-depth character stuff that we did, but also with like some of the reveals that we got about like the brothers, the gods, about Summer. I mean, I'm excited for it. So I think the Volume 9 was a much needed one, and yeah, I'm excited to check out this music, you guys. What do you say? Without further ado, we go ahead and we jump right in. We're doing 8 tracks today. Let's get started with the first one. RWBY Volume 9 soundtrack, you guys. Let's do this. Oh, it is. It's the theme. Inside. This theme, you guys. This theme. It's got to be right up there. It's got to be right up there for me. It's so good. Let's go. All right, lyrics. Yep. The theme of the whole thing. RWBY. I never realized that they were saying by a girl. Whoa. Getting into the Neo stuff. Yeah. Fairy tale within the fairy tale. Listen to that, like. Yeah. That's what it all came down to. Oh, man. Summed it up so well. Oh, yes! The guitars! I never heard this, or was this part in the theme? I don't think it was. Maybe it was. And Gold reminds me of the song Gold. It's the first thing I thought of. There's no getting back the past. Trusted love, like trust love. It does. It feels like we lost the beginning of this one. It's whoa! Guitar though. I looking the artwork, by the way, too. The artwork is really working with like the silhouette kind of version, and then RWBY just kind of like just looking inside. That's what it's all about. Oh. And she's just doubting herself. The conflict, the inner. Wow. The actual sound of the inner conflict is. Don't give up. Don't give up. Let that be the voice that comes through the most. The one that says don't give up. This is such a banger, you guys. I have so much I want to say about this. Yeah. And that like cascading synthesizer effect, this is the part we get in the theme. Love that with like the lights synced with the music. God, that's a good song. I mean, she nailed it. Oh man, you guys, that was so stinking good. It's the first time I heard it since the last episode. And it just like, I knew it was a banger, but like really getting the details of including like the interlude where you can actually hear her in her conflict. You can hear her saying one thing, but saying, no, it's not, you're just gonna mess up again. You're just gonna get people hurt. I mean, that is like, I feel like she freaking nailed that in so many ways. That idea that like, I'm ready for a new me, but I'm lost, scared, confused, and don't know what that's gonna look like. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And the concept that like, you're just so broken that you just don't know how to be you anymore. You don't know how to do that and not keep getting hurt or hurting others. It's a really big concept, you guys. And I'm so glad for what we got in the end. I won't say too much about the end because I know we're going to get songs that come towards the end too, and I'll want to talk about it again. But for capturing the overall issue of this volume, perfect. And I mean, song-wise, it's so stinking good. So, all right, we got notes to check out. So let's check out the notes. The track seems to focus and foreshadow Ruby's inner struggle to come to terms with who she is, not only in her past actions that have led to this point in her journey, but also her quest to find herself and her true identity. Agreed. The lyrics allude to ascension in the line "Trusted Love" as a reference to the Volume 7 song "Trust Love." Sorry, I didn't mean to get so into that part. I just was like, yeah, I picked up on that. And acts as an aversion to that theme with the following lyric, "Hatred won." So yeah, it's like trust love. This is what it got us. The song seems to reflect her inner thoughts as she continuously finds different ways through the different lyrics to ask the often repeated question to herself, what are you? As she wonders if she can accept the answer that is revealed. In short, it's a reference to her feelings of imposter syndrome, the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills throughout the volume. So well said. So well said. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I think that this goes back to the idea that, you know, you're just so conflicted on, like, who you are and every decision that you've made up to this point. I think imposter syndrome is the perfect way to encapsulate all that. Because I know, like, deep down, she just felt like she couldn't trust herself anymore, you know? Like, she was so confident in her mission, her decisions, her persistence to just keep that hope alive. And it all brought her to this point, and now she just, it's like hatred won, you know? It's like, it's really felt like we just lost. We just lost at the end of Volume 8. And so, yes. So, yes to all of that. Very good. Let me load up the next one. Oh, dang. I clicked on the wrong. bear with me. I clicked on the wrong one. Let me get back to, all right, the next one's called Checkmate. I think I know what this one's going to be. I think this one is going to be the one that plays during the scene with the king. But let's check it out. Let's go. This one was really good too, as I remember. Oh, dang. Yeah, we're getting the sweet. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we freaking go. Yeah! I mean, I just like, I would not think to put that instrument over this song. And there it is. Oh, lyrics again. Ah. Oh man. It's like, oh, yep, so this is mostly about the king. So I can sense that like kind of aggressive tone. I love it. I love it. I think it really captures that, like, it's funky, but it's also like do or die. And it's all just kind of like a big game. This is kind of from their perspective. Ooh, I like what she did with her voice there. Oh! I feel like now we're turning it back in on RWBY. It's kind of about both, I feel like. I love the addition of the, like, the horn. I don't know what it is exactly, but God, I love that. I love that. Are you the queen or are you the pawn? Oh, I love this part where they're both like, such a good moment. I love that we kind of get to relive some of this fight too. You know, there's an interesting theme in here about, like, I'll talk about it after, so I don't want to miss the whole thing. I'm loving, like, I don't know how you describe this musically, but like the constant like up and down of like the instruments. It gives it a very like almost like video game-ish kind of, but it's not like video game music. All right. Oh, wait, it's trying to play the next one. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. I might be way off on this, but I find that very interesting that we kind of got like some from the king's perspective or the and some from RWBY's perspective. It felt like it felt like obviously the line about the girl being the one to do it and everything, it felt like we were kind of switching back and forth, but I found like it feels like there's a big theme of control in there, and that fits so well. And here's why: because we have the idea that the king is sort of so desperate for like controlling the game and everything. But RWBY and her team are the ones who start to take that control back a little bit. And at some point in the song, we get RWBY kind of like looking inward a little bit about the lack of control she feels over her life and her actions. So I think it's like an interesting, plus it's, I mean, song-wise, these are just killing it. Like, I love it. I can definitely see that same kind of like ingenuity of like pairing different tones and different instruments together and everything that we've gotten previously, but with a very distinct style, a new style as well. Fantastic. So let's jump into the notes for that one. Okay. Surgeon General's warning. This bop will get stuck in your head after hearing it. Plays during the chess match battle sequence in Chapter 3. It appears to be a call and response song, as the first verse seems to be a perspective of the Prince, sorry, not the king. We all know who I was talking about. To Team RWBY, and the second verse is Team RWBY's response to the challenge. Checkmate refers to the winning move in chess, where player's king is boxed in by the opposing player's pieces and cannot move. The lines, "Show me some strategy and you're in a daze, I can't complain," reflect the position of the player in control of the king inbound on Checkmate, as they are trying to figure out how to avoid the inevitable defeat. Or in this particular case, how the Red Prince is constantly getting one-upped by Team RWBY during the game. Casey also said the second verse of this song is some of her favorite lyrical writing she's done to date. I was just going to say, like, the lyrics flow so well. I love it. So yeah, very, very good analysis of how, breaking down exactly how this like fits with actual chess terms, which I think is makes it even more fun to analyze, that we have a lot of things that you can compare from like the actual game to what they're trying to describe is happening here. So it's a total bop. It's a total bop. I loved it. All right, guys. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong one. I'm so sorry. All right, next one, Chatterbox. Let's do this. Ooh. Whoa! Definitely has like a more like kind of epic kind of tone, less dancey and more like a little bit more dark and aggressive maybe. I'm trying to remember what this played during. Okay. We're gonna get a really good. I think this is going to be a Neo one. Her voice is just out of this world. Oh! Did you hear that? With her voice? I'm loving the like the thing she's doing with her voice. Oh, so we're talking about specifically the cat and Neo. Yeah, this one really rocks. Man, just like the genres we're able to pull off on these soundtracks is incredible. Casey's killing it with that idea that like you can do like a cutesy, happy one and a rocker like back to back. Okay, so I'm getting the idea that this is about the interaction between Neo and the cat. I'm so glad they put that on there because I couldn't hear that at all. Kind of this idea that like the lure almost to like really figure yourself out. Technicolor Rage. Oh. So we're getting, oh, her voice. We're getting the back and forth. I like this idea that, like, in a lot of ways, Neo and the cat are coming from the same place. You know, because of what happened with the cat and Alex and all that Neo had been through. Oh! Do you hear her bellowing? That's like, I'm just so impressed because we started this off with like almost kind of an eerie vocal, like eerie but melodic, sort of like passive vocal tone, and we're the blip out of reality was a really nice touch. All right, I want to jump right into the notes on this one because I have a lot of thoughts on what this could kind of mean, and I want to see if any of them are right. So let's jump into the notes, okay? It plays in Chapter 5 during the fight with Team RWBY and the first appearance of Neo's Jabberwocker in the Forest Market. I was thinking that. This is by far the hardest song to get a beat on for analysis in the album. It appears to reflect conversation or dialogue taking place between the Curious Cat and Neapolitan, probably when they were merged, and each fighting for control of her physical body. As the cat says to her at one point, "You've lost something most important, haven't you?" But Neo's lines quickly point out that the cat is just as damaged as she is. That's what I was picking up as well. And has also been left to fend for themselves, and as they both point out the hypocrisies of the other character's mindset. It's basically two characters filled with animosity being told to examine their own conditions before throwing stones at each other, at another. But they're both so blinded by rage at their current situation that it's the only thing that they're able to keep any focus on. That's such a good way to sum it up, because honestly, I was getting that they're like back and forth and they're kind of coming from the same place. But both of them are just too caught up in the anger of what's happened to them to really be able to be as introspective as they're trying to remind each other to be here, you know? I think it's interesting I think that was a cool concept to like make a song where the inner monologue, the conflict that they're having as they merge together. Because I would not have thought to have gone there. But I actually think it's really interesting to think about how much they actually had in common. And the kind of like split ending that we get for the two of them, and that sadly, there just kind of was like no way out for the cat, which still, I think, I mean, obviously the cat was doing villainous things for sure. The cat was not a you know, quote unquote good character. However, I felt a lot for the cat once we knew what they had really been set up into by the brothers. And I think that like for the cat, sadly, like there sort of was no redemption past that. It was almost kind of built into their story, which is sad. But for Neo, who also is very complex, and I have felt a lot for over the last few years. I've been very back and forth with this character, you guys. I have gone from like appreciating the vibe and kind of liking her and liking her backstory, especially after I read Roman Holiday, to like really just being fed up with her, especially in this volume where it's just the shoe incident. Like, I was not having it. However, I do love this idea that, like, while there may not have really been this option for the cat, Neo actually has some kind of chance at some kind of redemption, or at least something other to her story than it ended in her, you know, just kind of giving into her own revenge and crumbling beneath it. You know, like there's something more. We don't know what it is. I'd like to think it's a redemption. But yeah, so really good one. Another just straight ahead rocker, really good song. All right, so let's jump. We're almost halfway through now. Let me click on the right one this time. Okay, next one. Oh, Worthy Bumblebee Part 2. I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this one. Let's go, you guys. I'm loving the visuals. It's almost kind of like breathing. So beautiful.
Was I always meant to take this shape? Never was given a love like this. A parachute falling with no fear of hitting the ground.
The lyrics are amazing. And I love the effect of the acapella. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, the art is beautiful. Oh, this idea of like hitting the ground, falling in love, takes the concept of a fall in a different way. Thanks part. It's true, we kind of struggled with like, they were separated for a while.
Heart wide. I've only ever known the fight.
If we ever really even known, like,
This time I'll never let you out of my sight.
we finally getting to be real with each other. They need to enjoy this with me.
Kiss me. Hold tight. I'll never let you out of my sight.
I just love this. I love they're able to be real with each other after all this time. It's kind of continuing the Bumblebee song. They're singing the I love you at the same time and hitting the high note. And now they're singing in unison. I love it. Their hearts are aligned. So is this Casey singing with someone else? Oh, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. She's singing the Bumblebee part. I love that song too. So beautifully done. The structure of this song is so beautifully done. I like can't even start. Hang on. Oops. Hang on. Let me load up the next. Oh, it's playing an ad at the beginning of the next one. Let me just get past that, and then we got a lot to. Okay, it's trying to play the next one. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Oh, let me put my girls back here. I just had to bring them out, you guys. I had to. It's gonna shake the camera a little bit because they live. You guys don't know this, but they live right beneath my camera. They're always there. They're always there. They're right there with you guys. They're in the audience. Guys, I don't know where to start with that. Because I love that it's a continuation of Bumblebee, the song. I love that it's the two of them singing to each other. I love that it's them getting all these thoughts and feelings out there that, like, we have had, and there has just been so much going on that, like, this is the first time we get to really breathe and be real with each other. And I love the idea that after getting all of this out there, after finally getting their real thoughts and feelings out to each other, that they're just singing in unison, like they're on the same page. And they're singing about loving each other, and it's just so beautiful. The structure of the lyrics in that way, I think, is absolutely stunning. The style of the song is perfect, just kind of this dreamy, melodic, you know, there's a beat, there's an undertone to it that feels like it's ramping up to something. It's not just totally calm, but it also has this, like, serene quality about it that just, it feels like falling in love. It feels like the pitter patter, like but it just leading to bliss, you know? I just love it. I just love it. I just need a second just to bask in it. I've been waiting so long. Guys, go back and watch my reactions to the scene where, like, Yang and Blake are talking, and that line about, like, save me a dance, and I'm like, do we ship them? And the whole internet just laughed because, like, there's so many shippers for Bumblebee. All right, guys, let's get into the notes. Okay, plays in Chapter 6 during a certain bridge scene, no kidding, where Blake and Yang take their relationship to the next level. Quick side note, for some added context, the original song Bumblebee was met with a lot of discussion in the fandom as it was released as a bonus track when Volume 4's OST had to be delayed. The biggest question people had about it was the fact that neither the song itself or any iteration of its motive has ever appeared in the show proper to date, including the volume in question, so there was a huge ongoing debate over the canon aspect of the subject matter. That's interesting. This particular track, however, does not have any of those previously mentioned issues to deal with, as it has obviously been assigned to an extremely prominent scene in the series. So now it's canon. Regarding the song itself, this is actually a proper duet between Casey and a singer named Ariel. The first half of the song is reflecting each other's thought process and their own self-doubts about themselves as individuals, as well as their bond with the other person, and if that bond is in fact a true connection or not. Also, the line, "Don't you see you could be with me," is a reference to the chorus line used in the first song mentioned earlier. I know, I play it on a loop. In the second part of the song, both voices come together in unison where they're finally saying the same thing to the other person at the same time as both characters have finally come to terms with both themselves individually and also their worth to each other as they are finally on the same page. It's yes, 100% yes. That is interesting. I do remember there being something about back when I reacted to Volume 4 originally. I do remember there being some mention that, like, Bumblebee was, like, people weren't sure about whether it was just, like, a kind of a one-off or if it was, like, officially making them canon. We don't have to worry about that now. It's canon, baby! But yeah, I agree. Everything that was said there is pretty much reflective of what I was thinking as well. I love it. In a volume that was so hard emotionally, it's so tough to watch someone like RWBY go through what she went through. And I know we had to deal with it, but man, it was not easy. Having the glimmer of just pure love in there, I gotta tell you, it was so nice. It was so nice. So, all right, guys. On to the next one. We are officially halfway through now. That was track number 4. And now we are jumping on to track number 5, which is called Trapdoor. Let's do this. Ooh. I'm liking, there's kind of like a clickiness of the beat that I'm liking. I noticed it in the theme too. I love the synthesizers. I'm noticing like a lot of what I think is going to be Casey's style, like her original style, and I'm digging it, you guys. I'm for real digging it. Oh, I like that, how it kind of feels like it's moving around a little bit. Oh. 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 This one, guys. I think I know where this played. Oh, I got that feeling like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Wow, guys. This is gonna be an emotional one. This is about her. This is about her feelings. Oh. It's the absolute trapdoor. Interesting, the idea of a trapdoor kind of goes with falling too, doesn't it? And just that idea that like that feeling of just complete loneliness and just brokenheartedness, guys. It's we had to work through it. We had to. It's overwhelming. I just want to cry with her. All she's done is try to keep the hope alive. You don't have to take it all on yourself. Pressure is just insurmountable. It like hurts me to think of her feeling this way. That's really how she felt. She felt like she had failed them. And like if she was anything less than what she was expecting herself to be for them, she was useless. She was a failure. And I hate thinking of her feeling worthless. I really do. I can't stand the thought of it. God, the lyrics are really good. Lyrics are really good. That's the thing is like when you try to take all that on yourself, you just it's the collapse is so much. That's the overlapping of the lyrics. That's kind of what happened to her. She ended up kind of frozen in time, like being forced to decide after taking the tea and everything. Piano. I love the use of just like one instrument by itself too. I think it could be so powerful. God, guys, that was some of that stuff coming up that was just so hard to deal with. I'm so glad that she dealt with it. I'm so glad that she came out the other end of it. But watching her being in that just feeling of utter hopelessness and the pain being so overwhelming, that, like, it just overtook her, you know? That was a really hard, that was a really hard concept to get through, especially with someone like RWBY, who I just feel like is really always trying to keep that hope alive. And I love that. I love that about her. But I think it's also really important to recognize that, like, you can chase hope and still feel sorrow. And if you try to push the sorrow down, or you try to push the weight of those events that are happening to you down, that's not being strong, you know? Being strong is facing it. And she did. And I'm proud of her. All right, let's get the notes on this one. Plays in Chapter 7 during the fight between WBY and Jay and the Jabberwocker clones as they attack the Origami Acre while RWBY is frozen on the sidelines. That's okay, yes. That's probably what they meant by frozen. This song references RWBY's feeling of being neglected by her team and her growing disbelief, and her growing belief that they may not need her any longer. The first verse points out that the other characters have apparently only needed a small amount of time to move on and keep moving forward, something RWBY is currently unable to do in her state. She is doing her best to put on a happy face, but she is growing to feel more and more like her own personal feelings are not being taken into account by her friends and teammates. And even if she tried to exit the scene to deal with them directly, she would be abandoning her position as team leader. That is such a good point. Which has quietly become an increasingly heavier burden with the accumulated events of the series to date. She's literally frozen in the darkest moment, with the weight of everything crushing her spirit underneath, underneath it, and it feels to her like nobody else, even those closest to her, have even noticed. I think this is something that I was we were all starting to pick up on throughout the volume. Is like, they're not seeing how she feels, are they? Like, we can see it. We kind of see a little bit. The audience sees a little bit more. But, like, they're not seeing this happening in her until it's, like, too late. And it's such an awful chain reaction. First off, very well said. But it's such an awful chain reaction of, like, you're feeling this way because you took all of that burden and responsibility on yourself without giving yourself any slack, any permission to make a mistake or feel the pain as it was coming, instead of having it build up on you to the point where it was smothering you. But with that mentality comes the idea that, like, even though now you feel your self-worth is so in the gutter, you still feel that responsibility of, like, I don't think I'm worth anything to anyone, but I can't just walk away either. And it's such an awful spot to be in. It's such an awful, awful spot to be in, to be, like, half just feeling broken and like you can't do anything right, and half feeling that, like, you still have to be in this and be there for everyone. That is, like, the worst spot, I feel like, to be in. And I think the song just really sums that up. The notes were also really great on elucidating on that, too. Wow, guys. I knew it was gonna be... It's good to get this out. It's good to get this out, you know? This isn't a bad thing, you know? This is a good thing. It's just, it's so hard to think of, and it was hard watching it too. Someone who I just cherish as much as RWBY, just knowing that she felt that way, and there was nothing being done about it. I know it all turned out okay, though, so I'm glad about that. But, all right. Okay. So we have 2 left, you guys. The next one, let me load it up. Okay, let me make sure I didn't... Did I skip one? No, I did not. Oh, so we have 3 left. We have 3 left. We have... Yes, we have 3 left. Sorry about that. I'm like, I saw there was one more on the playlist. I'm like, wait, what? Did I didn't skip one, did I? No, the next one is called Quiet. Let's get into it. What's... Oh, I like how the image is like slowly coming in. Oh, baby Juniper. With the clock, though. Sean. I love the vocals and the build-up of the instruments too. Falling's a big theme this time around. Like Forever Fall. Oh, it's gonna be another sad one. Oh boy, what was I thinking? Not bringing the tissues. Him with baby Juniper, guys. Really? Like, just twist the knife on me a little bit here. Twist the knife. Why don't ya? He spent a lot of time alone. Whoa, that effect.
What patience was till its face stared me down. Couldn't bear to witness my own fate. My conviction, the weight of it all, the failures of me, and who I couldn't be.
I love the inclusion of like the time clock motifs too. The vocals. I feel so much pain in this, and also like just a little bit of the solace maybe that like hit the high note. We know she can. She hits those high notes like nobody's business. I love the layered vocals too. I feel like he found like, I don't know if I'd call it peace, but he... Ooh. Oh, that artwork too. It's just... Oh, fading away slowly. Oh, ooh. Almost kind of felt like a teardrop, didn't it? Like I just saw, oops, hang on. We don't want to get into the next one yet. that was a sad one, you guys. That was a sad one. I love the way that was done. Because, again, it wasn't totally sad. I think that it also really acknowledges the comfort that John found during all those years by himself, even if they were very hard. And even if it was very hard to deal with everything that had happened. And even if he hadn't really dealt with it, I think that what he found with, like, Juniper and the paper people and everything, I think it just kind of goes to show that, like, you can find connection or love even in, like, the wake of so much heartache. And I think that, like, once he actually dealt with everything that he had not dealt with, I think he could finally sort of see what the love and caring in that relationship really meant, you know? Because we know that he had an awfully hard time letting go with the paper people and, like, their whole ascension and everything. And I think I'm so glad that we dealt with his story as well. About just finally kind of releasing that weight and guilt that he had carried as a burden for so long and had come out in, like, so many other ways of, like, him trying to have ultimate control and everything like that. But at the end of the day, that's not really what love looks like. Even if you're super traumatized because you have lost so much. And so much has been lost on your watch, you know? Because after what happened with Penny, man, I remember thinking, like, I almost didn't even want to see them deal with it in this volume. But I'm glad we did. But, like, I remember thinking that, like, it was just going to be so heartbreaking to watch. And it was. It absolutely was. So let's talk about the notes for this one. Plays during chapter 9 during the scene where it's revealed that the paper pleasers have ascended and returned as genial gems and immediately start cleaning up their former village. It only took 9 volumes, so I'm pretty sure this is the first song with a direct John perspective. That is interesting. I think perhaps that's right. Yeah. It reflects his inner thoughts as he deals over years with the consequences of his actions, the choices that led him to this point, and he's still haunted by Penny's request of him at the end of the previous volume, regardless of it being her wish or not. As the song progresses, he tries to accept all of his self-perceived failures as part of himself, and he has no other choice while he waits for years, reflecting on his actions in solitude. Until the last line, all this is a miracle, what more can you ask for? Which reflects his rekindled hope when Team RWBY finally reunites with him. So well said. So well said. And just like, like I said, it just does my heart so much good to have, like, a little bit, like a glimmer of hope and peace and, like, the opportunity for healing on the other side of all of the messed up stuff that some of these characters have had to deal with. Like, seriously. That was great. And that's true. I think that's right. That it's the first, like, first person John perspective song. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. I keep doing it. All right, guys. Next one is called Guide My Way. Oh, Red Like Roses Part 3. Oh, guys, here we go. Here we go. All right, so little tidbit for you. After, I think it was like volume 8, I am like no longer able to listen to Red Like Roses Part 2 without like, without really being emotional. Like the first time I heard it after volume 8, I was in my car, I was on my way to Chili's, and I was bawling. But now I just get like, it makes me emotional. And I remember hearing this a little bit in the when it played in the episode, and thinking like, oh snap. All right, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Are we talking about summer right now? This is a big blow, kind of finding all that out, I think. It's an interesting take on... We've had a couple interesting takes on like the concept of falling in these songs. And in a way, I feel like she did. I feel like that was a big part of her decision, of RWBY's decision. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. I love that build-up. Here we go, here we go! It all comes full circle. It's all been leading up to this. I love the like build up of the instruments. I'm loving that. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I like that this encapsulates some of the kind of like almost like betrayal of like finding out the truth about somebody, you know? And it's not like it changes Summer completely, but it does change a lot of RWBY's perspective, I feel like, on Summer. It really makes you question. But in a way, it also really kind of brings Summer down from this pedestal of like, this is who I'm trying to be, this is who what I'm trying to achieve. Oh, that's a good lyric. Right. But yeah, that's the thing, is like once she comes down off that pedestal, you can appreciate everything that you want to take from the person that she was and be yourself, but also acknowledge that like nobody's perfect. That's such a boss lyric. This is her decision. This is her decision. Heck yeah. I just got legit tingles, you guys. Goose walked over my grave. Oh my god. Just like musically and lyrically, I dig this so much. Oh! Here we go with the guitars. Here we go with the guitars. Let's go. I think that bringing in that scene of Summer to like help Ruby make her decision, I think that was so genius. And I'll get more into it after the song because I don't want to be talking over the lyrics, but I think that works on so many levels. Because, well, like I said, I'll get into it more after, but in a big way, she did. Now she has the power of her own. Now she's doing this for, I feel like this is more about her now than it is about her living up to Summer. Does that make sense? God, I love that. Oh, it's such a good part 3. Guys. All right, hang on. It's trying to play. I think the next one is the last one. Let me see. Yeah, next one's the last one. All right, before we get into the notes, I just want to say, now I'm, with all these tears and everything, my mascara is starting to become my enemy over here. I love the idea that she is now inspired by Summer on many different levels, because I feel like Summer was up on this pedestal for her. Like, this was like the thing that she was trying to attain, was like being like this person who just, you know what I mean? And that way of thinking is dangerous because nobody is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. And I think that actually seeing that Summer didn't always make the right decisions either. Now, I'm not saying that Summer isn't a great person or didn't have a lot of things that you could emulate for positive reasons. But at the same time, when Ruby is dealing with this idea of like not being able to pull all this off on her own, you know, I actually think that in a way Summer did guide her by Ruby finding out that like what you need to do is you need to trust yourself. You need to trust that like you're not always going to make you're just, even if your decision is right, it's not always going to go like, it's not always going to be happy ending right away. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love that at the end she's like, I can guide me. I can guide me. I think Summer in that role, when Ruby's in there with the blacksmith, she empowers Ruby, but not in the way that, not by being the standard to attain, but I think by showing her that like, you do have what it takes. You are who you should be. You are enough. All right. Let's get into the notes. Plays in chapter 10 during Ruby's ascension after choosing herself and her teammates' subsequent battle with the Curious Cat. The song continues a tradition in the Red Like Roses song series of focusing on Ruby's relationship with her mother Summer, which takes a prominent role at the end of this volume. The first verse seems to be Ruby questioning the things she's learned about Summer here, and she starts asking questions of her mother that she would like the answers to and wonders if she needs external help to escape her current predicament. The first bridge is a direct callback to the beginning of the Red trailer, Red Like Roses Part 1. The line, "Were you at least called a friend?" is more poignant, and it's probably half a true question to Summer and half Ruby reflecting on another character who gave her that title personally. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, it hurts. She then seems to address the other side, or the blacksmith, asking about their motives for her and her destiny before resolving to surpass Summer as a huntress, not out of jealousy, but out of inspiration. Exactly. It's not a like, oh, you weren't who I thought you were. It's like I recognize who you are, and I love who you are, and I'm going to do even more. You know what I mean? Like, it's not from a place of, okay, so anyway, sorry, back to the notes. The chorus line, guide my way out of this place, refers to her desire to escape not only the ever after, but her own self-doubt as an individual. And the melody here also matches the tempo with a somewhat inverse tune of the original line, red like roses fills my dreams. Good point. The final stanza refers to RWBY answering the questions posed of her originally in the first OST song, Inside, accepting every part of herself, good or bad, for who she is, victory or failure, and coming to the understanding that she has the power to get herself out of her current situation, and always did, because maybe that girl is enough. I just feel the need to applaud that. Like, that's yes, a million times yes. And in my thoughts exactly, that what I really see here is that she is accepting every part of herself, and that is what gives her power. Power doesn't come from somebody being perfect. That's ridiculous. Nobody is perfect. Nobody makes the right choice every single time. Nobody has everything go their way every single time. Nobody can single-handedly guide everyone to peace. Like, real power comes from recognizing that and doing it anyway. And just going out there and fighting anyway. Alright, guys, last song before I press the wrong button. Okay, it's called The Edge. Oh, this is probably the end credits one, isn't it? That would make sense. Let's go. This art, though. Literally. There's some interesting concepts there. Maybe falling apart isn't so bad if you know who it is that you're putting back together. Yourself. Because that's who you were meant to be all along. God, this is good. So good. Casey is killing it. I like the pop beat. Right, exactly. Oh, I like how it's like starts off ethereal, and now it's like we're beginning of a new journey. Yeah, it's just beginning. That's right. We're still in this. It's just beginning. I like how all the instruments like build. That's such a good effect. Oh, the just like release of the vocals. There's a yeah, rising. That's right. This is the comeback story, you guys. You know what? That's actually really well said. Wow. Oh man. That's some powerful stuff, you guys. Like, she did, in a way, she didn't become a new person, but she recognized a version of herself that was in there the whole time, that just needed this healing to come out. Dang. I love how then we like go back to the, I am really digging the way that all the instruments, I'll talk about it more after, but oh, and Finn fade away. Oh, guys. Dang it. Oh, that was so good. Okay, that was our last one. I just want to say that I love the reaffirmation of, like I said at the beginning of this video, to have Ruby in a spot where she just like, don't get me wrong, I'm all about persistence in the face of adversity. But it makes so much sense for her to have this reset and to not just be pushing ahead because I feel like there's a lot more deeper meaning to it now. Like she's taken a journey now that like there is a confidence behind. There is a real confidence now behind her knowing who she is and what she's capable of. You know? And yes, she needed to rebuild after being so broken down, but I think just even in general, her really getting that kind of character development, it just works so well, guys. It really does. I'm glad. As hard as it was to watch her being broken down, watching her rebuild herself was a real joy. And it definitely makes me appreciate her even more. All right. That was excellent. Notes. Plays during the end credit scroll in chapter 10 reflects Ruby's mindset during her ascension arc as she tries to come to terms with who she wants to be. She realizes that she is not a bunch of different separate parts, but the sum of them all, and needs to accept both the positive influences and the negative ones that help her wholly be who she is as an individual. During the process, she says goodbye to the former self that was constantly filled with doubt and uncertainty, choosing to move forward, reborn, with a new understanding of herself and the mental fortitude to accept whatever destiny may now lie in her path. In the future, she now leaves to go find. And there's a note that hopefully comes in the form of a Volume 10 greenlit soon. Could not agree more. That was so well said. I love the idea, and this is what I was saying during the previous song as well, that like, you're not just one facet of like, you're not just like all hero or all this or all that. It's every part of you, mistakes and all, that like are what make you up as a person. And that's strength, being able to admit that, own that, and make it work for you, you know? And I just love that she got that. I feel like she was the only one who had not really gotten a lot of like soul searching ability in this series, ironically. And I'm just so glad that she got that. So I could probably take these out now that I'm done listening. What a volume. What a volume. I know it was not easy to get through, but I feel like now, instead of going into the final fight tired and just broken and having to deal with the aftermath of everything after, we're going in now like 100% sure of who we are and what we can do. You know what I mean? Like, I always believed in her. I always believed in this crew, but now I'm like, yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Please greenlight Volume 10. I need Volume 10, guys. We all need Volume 10. Excellent soundtrack. We said a lot about the lyrics here. I got into it a lot. The notes were fantastic and in helping me kind of understand everything more fully and expand upon it. The actual music is the only last thing that I want to talk about because I love. I feel like I really got to know a lot of Casey's style throughout that, and I love the way that she uses different elements, you know, like we'll have a soft vocal with like a hard driving like instrumental coming up behind it, like ramping up, and we'll have that like contrast, you know, we'll have layered sounds, we'll have just like, and this is something that I loved in all of Jeff's work as well, was the use of like instruments that you wouldn't ordinarily think of to put in there, but like they're in there and it's like, oh my God, that just adds something so much. Like now it's like hitting me in the face and I can't picture it without it. So like I see a lot of, it feels like RWBY to me. Like it fits so well because in a volume that's about kind of like this renewal, this like kind of idea of like something new emerging, it actually fits really well to be putting kind of a different style in the music while still very much feeling like RWBY and very much having the love and respect for everything that came before it. And I knew that's how it would be. Like I knew as soon as I heard that Casey was coming in, I'm like, this is going to be good. This is right. This feels right, you know? And she nailed it. And I know she worked with a few other people on this as well, and they also nailed it. I just think it was a collaborative effort, and everyone did great. And I'm so jazzed for Casey. Like I'm just so like proud of like all she's done here. I know it's weird to say about like someone you don't actually know, but like I also feel like I've heard her grow over these last 9 volumes, and I'm just like, I love the culmination of it. So that's the only other thing I wanted to say, was just like to take a moment to talk about the actual like music elements. And the lyrics were so well done as well. Like she clearly gets it. And I know like she and Jeff both, like the love and understanding for this series comes through so much. In all of Jeff's work previously and in Casey's work now, now that she's come in and taken over. I loved it, guys. Oh, it's got me jazzed for Volume 10 in such a big way. I really need it. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get it done. Let's get this done. Come on. We need a Volume 10. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. As always, thank you so much for joining me today for another fantastic RWBY day. It will be our last one for a little while, but with any luck, we're going to be back here for RWBY Day real soon. So, please be sure to join me next time, whatever it is I'm watching. I'm also watching currently Red vs. Blue, which is another Rooster Teeth series that I know a lot of you know and love. I'm watching tons of other stuff that I think you would probably enjoy, hopefully enjoy watching with me. I hope you'll check it out if you haven't already. And we will just keep waiting for Volume 10. So please be sure to join me next time. We will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.